what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gladiators in 7 pro classes set to do battle here in round 1. Here are 3 you definitely want to keep your eye on for the opener.
The 2024 Pro-Am Side-by-Side Champion, racing the number 9 Polaris, David Gay.
David, a really strong second half to last season for you, able to mount a charge up into second points. What's it going to take to carry that momentum into the start of this year?
You know, this is going to be my 4th year racing side-by-sides here, and I've kind of taken it in 2-year strides. First year came to learn, second year came to win, third year came to learn in a new class, 4th year we're here to execute, so looking forward to it.
You heard it right there, David Gay going for the win today in the number 9 Polaris in the Pro Stock side-by-side class.
From Statesville, North Carolina, racing the number 73 Prospec, the Thriller, Wyatt Miller.
Wyatt, no off season for you. Since we last saw you in a truck, you've raced everything from asphalt late models to micros to Crown Vics. But how excited are you to get back into this truck today?
I'm pumped. This thing is awesome. It's so much fun. I'm super excited to get going.
Wyatt Miller going to start his championship defense in Prospec here today.
From Conyers, Georgia, the United Rentals number 44 Pro 4, Jimmy Henderson.
Jimmy, a few changes to your truck for this season. You guys have gotten quite a bit of testing in the preseason. Starting on the pole today, what's the game plan?
Go fast. You know, we know the track's going to blue groove up, so we got to get to the halfway safe, truck in one piece, have a better start than we had last year. And then, you know, we got a few question marks, see how Mickey does, see how Ryan Beat does, and we got Kyle Greaves running in CJ's truck, so we'll see how the race shakes out and how the competition looks, and then we'll just go for the win.
Plenty to watch for in Pro 4 today. Jimmy Henderson's going to roll off first in the number 44.
Thank you very much, Nolan. And now let's take a good look, Shane, at this beautiful layout in Wheatland, Missouri, Lucas Oil Speedway. A lot of tight turns, but a lot of speed.
Yeah, on its face, it looks like a really flowy track, and in a lot of ways, it definitely is, especially this exterior portion of the course. Down at the far end, you got turn 3 here, this big sweeping left-hander. You got to get squared away. Tons of line choice through that corner. And then full send over the brunt booter, 150 feet to hit the top of the landing. We'll see the Pro 2s and Pro 4s go 200 feet of distance, maybe more than that when it's all said and done today. Hard left-hander, another 2-story tall tabletop, and then a left-hander into the tricky interior section of the racetrack.
Yeah, you really want to be squared away going through this whoop section, and then you got to get hard on the binders, and you'll hear the trucks and the cars really tiptoeing their way through. Then you get a lot of grip, and you jump through this table into a base of that jump. sometimes you might need to brake check. You need to check up just a little bit because you don't want to go upside down.
Yeah, wind, we saw it in qualifying yesterday too, wind, kind of a headwind on the drivers. Again, looking at the truck classes, Pro Spec, Pro Light, Pro 2, and Pro 4, those hoods catch a lot of wind, especially when we get airborne. Here, Bark River, Crandon to an extent, the wind can come into play with how these trucks fly. It can get a little dicey out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a challenge, but we're up for the challenge this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the battleground where adrenaline meets the moment. This is the first race of the afternoon in the 2025 AMSOIL Championship Off-Road Title Series. In the Pro Buggy class, finesse meets fury. These lightweight, high-horsepower machines tear across the track with razor-sharp handling and mind-blowing acceleration. Every bump, jump, and turn puts driver talent and racer IQ front and center. It's where precision matters and throttle control is king. No traction aids, small margin for error, just pure off-road racing at its most technical and its most thrilling. This is Pro Buggy.
Well, there you see the first pro race of the day set to take the green flag here in just a few minutes. Pro Buggy first up on the docket. Good full field of cars, 13 in total, about set to be cut loose. Billy Booth draws the pole position. Michael Meister starts alongside him. Meister returning to full-time competition here in 2026. He is a 5-time class champion. Jaden Uribe starts third. Then it's Tony Keepers, Cole Bernlohr, Zachary Drapkin, Jaden Lemke, Logan Christensen, Chase Gare, Bo Ambos, Kai Graff, Ryan Schwalbe, and Jordan Bernlohr starting at the back of this field.
Yeah, there's your Yokohama top qualifier. I mean, no surprise to us. Michael Meister in that number 94 Ponzi back ride. It's cool to have him back full time. He can do damage when he's in the field the whole season.
Yeah, like I said, he is a 5-time class champion. A couple other champions still out there in the field. Jordan Bernlohr, 2 years ago, 2024, he took the title. The year before that, it was Mark Steinhardt. So, I mean, there's drivers in this field and drivers who have won other class championships. Billy Booth right next to Meister, a former Sportsman Buggy class champion in both classes. So, a talented group of drivers. Open wheel racing, not a ton of space on this racetrack, and we are in for a show, my friend.
Well, let's sit back and see what shakes out here. The first pro race on the day, round one of AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by Brunt. Here we go, Shane.
Off we go down into turn one. Meister going way wide and had to check up to collect himself. And Meister might be having a mechanical issue already in this race.
Yeah, he was well off pace right away. Yeah, he's off the track. He's off the gas. He's done.
Man, what a tough way to start the 2026 season for Michael Meister, returning to full-time racing this year.
Boy, look at Keeper has moved up a couple spots here early.
Yeah, got that second row start, followed Booth through the door, and they run 1 and 2 as they go over the Brunt booter.
There we go. The bigger cars are out here. They're starting to clear that tabletop on the first lap. There's the Mud Muncher ride of Billy Booth. Just sending it off that tabletop.
Man, 2 years running, Billy Booth has been so close to winning a championship and seems to just fall a few points short. Makes you wonder, I mean, he knows by now, I'm sure, that he saw Meister pull off the racetrack in front of him. Booth's got to be grinning ear to ear knowing that this is a great opportunity to put his stamp on the season early and be a contender again.
Yeah, he's like, man, I got a chance to score some big points this afternoon, so he just needs to run away and hide, but Keepers is going to try to keep him tamed down. There's Zachary Drapkin. Good to have him back in the series once again.
Yeah, Drapkin was showing a wheel to the inside of Uribe there as they came through the final turn. 1 lap in the books and a long way to go here in Pro Buggy.
Seen him. Just a little bit of green on our screen. Cole Bernlohr, trying to work his way up in the top 5. That's where he's at right now. Man, Billy Booth. No matter what class him and his father got in over the years, they just learned each and every spec on the car, put it together as a driver. What better way to be out front?
Well, Keeper's still trying to chase him down, and that's what I was talking about. That was 200 feet of distance right there that Tony Keepers just flew in that Milwaukee Tools car.
Yeah, we walked it off. I promise you, it's that far out. Wow, see Drapkin landing on the right rears.
Yeah, the thing with these cars is the suspension is virtually unlimited. They have a ton of travel. They're light, nimble cars. They can soak up that landing. The problem is you don't want to land off kilter because the tires can't handle it at that point. Just a little bit too much force on the sidewall of those tires, you'll blow it right apart.
Yeah, Drapkin, he has to be careful there. He has a lot of laps, though, in this sport. He knows what he needs to do. He's just going to keep picking this race apart as they come to the competition caution. Still yet some time away. Click off another lap. All Billy Booth right now. We'll see that gap.
Gained about 2/10 over Keepers and the rest of the gang that previous time around.
But this is where it gets fun, Shane, right? The track's starting to go away. They have to start learning a little bit different on their lines.
Yeah, you beat me to the punch on that. I was going to say this track's going to change quite a bit from where we are right now to where we'll be at the end of this race.
Yeah, you see the moisture still in the track there in the infield. Now through Talladega turn. Look at how high up Billy Booth goes. It's all about that run. He's going to try to clear it.
Yeah,
Keepers.
no problem.
Wow,
no
so
problem
nice
for these unlimited buggies. Great run so far by Uribe in that third spot. Just keeping that pressure up on Booth, and Uribe going airborne big time over the overpass lead.
Boy, they just soak up that rhythm section each and every time. See Booth, he's trying to lean that right rear out just a little bit farther than Keepers. Keepers just sending it off that infield.
I think this early in the race too, all these drivers are sort of feeling the track out a little bit too. I mean, they know what their spotters can tell them, but you have to feel it in your hands, feel it in how the car reacts a little bit.
Yeah, you can only listen so much. You got to tell your spotter, hey, I'm in the car. I'll try to figure it out, and it looks like Billy Booth's doing the right things as of now. And how much really is Keeper Shane putting the pressure on? Is he just maintaining his laps? He's happy with the pace. There's so much time left, though.
Well, you got to remember too, Billy Booth got into Pro Buggy a couple of years before Keepers made the jump from the limited buggy classes. So I'm sure on some level, Keepers is just doing a little bit of studying right now and making sure he can predict Billy Booth a little bit better as this race goes on.
Yeah, he's definitely got that booter figured out as he's got a little bit of company now. See if they can button up to one another. Just wait for that one mistake. I've said it all morning long.
Man, the top five really running about equal pace. See, Keepers left the door open a little bit there for the number 3 of Uribe. Uribe not able to capitalize.
Now Drapkin working his way back up through. He knows that halfway point's coming. He's trying to get around as many cars as he can.
Yeah, last year Drapkin here at Wheatland finished 3rd both of those rounds.
Yeah, Uribe still right there too. He can't be disappointed on that first half run as we come to the halfway.
Oh, right before halfway though, Drapkin made a little mistake and Cole Bernlohr was able to get by.
Oh, he did.
A tough break for Zachary Drapkin. More work to do if he wants to find his way back to the podium, but man, it has been all Billy Booth. Probably hasn't even had to hit the button on his Mud Muncher quite yet.
No, it's a good day for Billy Booth in that 51 ride. Like you said, he's been around a long, long time. He's got this car figured out. Always there at the end of the season points. I remember out in Glen Helen calling the last couple races, and it was just a bummer deal, right? He couldn't move forward any farther than he was, and you can't take anything away from that run. I mean, finishing runner-up in the Pro Buggy division, you're doing something right each and every week.
Right, that's got to be the excitement for Booth coming into a new season. Like we've said a couple times now, just the new opportunity. Put all the past stuff behind you, the couple times that he's fallen short in the championship hunt. I think every driver on some level comes into the new season and thinks, this is my year, right?
Right, and then you got Michael Meister, right? He puts full commitment. I'm going to run full time. And now what happens with him, you know, he's bummer deal. He's out.
Well, a lot to be decided, but first, at the halfway point, let's check in trackside with Nolan.
Thank you, Shane. You should be puffing your chest out a little bit. On last week's episode of the Champ Off-Road podcast, you made a prediction that Tony Keepers was going to have maybe be a sleeper guy to win some races this year. He's running solid right now in second place. He had kind of a difficult week leading up to this one. Just had to go get his engine the day before he left here for Wheatland, so had to scrap to get it together. They got it out here, and you couldn't tell by looking at it. He's running well.
That is so awesome. Thanks for the great information, Nolan. What a beautiful day it is, and it's not an easy challenge, but hey, you're right, Shane. I got to say it. You did predict him to have a good run, and what better way is in round one to do it?
Quick check-in with the rookie in the field, Bo Ambos, who moved up from 1600 buggy a year ago. He's currently running in the 9th spot in his debut. I talked to Bo earlier today, and he said just figuring out how to properly shift these cars was a little bit of a challenge for him. The Fortin gearboxes that they use, the shift pattern's reversed, so you pull down for first and then up to second, basically opposite of everything he's ever driven in his whole life. He said just wrapping his mind around that's been such a distraction from kind of learning the car. It's been really tough for him, but 9th so far, not a bad run for Ambos.
Yeah, not a bad run at all. He's going to keep moving forward late in this race, just figuring out that car, getting more comfortable. As the green flag's about to fly, it's Booth, Keepers, your top two.
Uribe just keeping that pressure on Keepers.
That's what Uribe has to do though, Shane. He has to put that pressure on now. Oh, made a little bobble there.
Yeah, Uribe was trying to stay down to the bottom, and I think it just kind of dogged the car out a little bit, brought the RPMs down a little bit too far. Fortunate not to lose a spot there was Uribe. He'll hold on to that 3rd spot. Look at Billy Booth again, 10 car lengths, just like that.
Yeah, and he wants to see these guys do battle. Uribe and Keepers are going to hold off themselves from gaining ground on them if they don't stay off of one another. It looks like Keepers has the pace to keep that comfortable 2-car length gap. But boy, Booth, that Mud Muncher ride, not using any of that Mud Muncher today.
See Keepers washing out a little bit wider there, just searching for the cushion with that right rear. Throughout Sportsman Racing, we saw the blue groove come in. They pushed everything back over the racetrack, but it's going to blue groove up a little bit quicker as we get to these higher horsepower pro classes.
Yeah, you see a lot of grip going through our camera there, going through that over-under. Uribe now putting on that pressure again.
Yeah, Keepers pushed a little bit in the K&N corner.
Look at him, here he goes.
Well, Uribe's going to look on the outside. Keepers just moving over a little bit to take that line away. Now Uribe pushes a little bit wide out into the heavier soil.
Yeah, it's really challenging when you're trying to put that pressure on to stay on your own pace. Just right there. What a run, though, by the Milwaukee Tools ride of Tony Keepers. Pressing this front booter one more time. Watch how far he goes, Shane.
Yeah, easy 175 feet, if not a little bit more than that. Just incredible. I was watching the pace that really the top 5 or 6 cars are running. They're so identical. It looks like they're not really racing that closely. You know, there's a car length or so between all of them, but they're running such a blistering pace and all running the exact same pace. They're so evenly matched.
Yeah, they're all holding their own, and yeah, exactly. You can tell by our camera. They're all running very fast in the 124s. Billy Booth last time by ran a 123.384.
Yeah, so the track's starting to come into him a little bit more. We talked about how the track is going to change so much from lap 1 to the final lap. It seems like Booth hit the mark for being set up for later in the race. We're down to 2 minutes left in this one.
And it looks like he just rolled that car out of the trailer. So clean.
Uribe's starting to charge a little bit harder, trying to drive down on the blue groove through turn 1, and
something broke.
I don't think he broke. I think he just drove across the blue groove, and there's no traction down there.
Yeah, you're right. He slipped across there and then caught the cushion.
That'll give a little opportunity here to Cole Bernlor to apply some pressure for the final podium spot. Yeah, just looking at the lap times that last time around, the top 4, wow, all running within about 3/10 of one another. high 123 range.
Rebay now still holding on to that top 3. There's Bernlohr.
Yeah, Drapkin just trying to creep up a little bit more on Cole Bernlohr. See Drapkin sawing at the wheel there. Just if you get a little bit out of shape early in that rhythm section, it kind of snowballs, and all of a sudden you're turning 45 degrees as you're bouncing off the faces of those.
Right, and it's challenging. You're like, okay, do I stay in it? Do I let off? It's that happy medium you have to figure out.
Yeah, a lot of times as a driver, your instinct is to back out of the throttle a little bit, and you're almost better off just keeping it right to the wood. 2 laps to go this time by for Pro Buggy. Booth had a 1.8-second lead just 1 lap ago. That interval held almost identical that time by, so Keeper's starting to find a little speed late in this one.
Yeah, Keeper's not far off.
Yeah, but he's got to gain 1.8 seconds and make a pass in 2 laps. And the way Booth is looking, seems like a pretty tall order for Keepers to make that work.
Yeah, Billy Booth, he's on it, but you know he's setting back just a little bit. He knows he has that gap. Don't overdrive. That's what his father's probably telling him. Just keep doing what you're doing. Look at that cushion running way out to that K-rail.
Well, Uribe trying to mount a charge once again on Keepers. He's bringing Bernlohr along with him.
Uribe just has to stay down to that bottom and try to muscle his way up to Keepers. But he's keeping it really straight through here. Watch Keepers as Booth goes through.
Yeah, we've talked about how Booth hasn't made any mistakes. Well, neither has Tony Keepers so far. He's been hitting all his marks, playing defense when he has to, and then running the faster lines when he's able to.
He opens the door just a little bit, but you catch that grip there.
Didn't leave enough room for Uribe to make that move.
Yeah, there's only so many spots on this track you can really do damage.
The S-curve starting to get more and more chewed up as this race goes on.
Should be coming to the white flag this time by Billy Booth in that Mud Muncher ride. There he is on the left-hand side of our screen.
Yeah, he gained about another 1/10 of a second there on Keepers. So again, that pace pretty much identical among our fastest cars in the field right now.
Like you said last lap at this time, you said, hey, you know, it's hard to make up 1.8 and try to make a pass.
Oh, it looks like some trouble there for Bo Ambos. There was another car involved.
Oh, he was up to the 8th spot before this happened.
Yeah, he was high as 7th at one point. I couldn't quite make out who the other car was that was involved.
Billy Booth wheeling down the backside.
Uribe's starting to push even that much harder at this point. Keeper's got to be feeling that pressure to some degree.
This is the final lap of Pro Buggy. Uribe really has to put the pressure on if he wants to do anything. Keepers gets a little squirrely there, but gets it back down to the bottom. Got to make sure you're in the right gear on exit here.
Well, Booth just has to navigate a couple more corners. And Uribe, it's like he's almost close enough to maybe strike or maybe try to jostle the back bumper of Keepers and maybe upset the car a little bit, but just can't quite reach it.
Well, this guy's done just about everything this afternoon. Round 1 winner, Billy Booth. Taking a checkered flag first. What a great run by Tony Keepers.
Yeah, that's a career best finish in Pro Buggy for Keepers. And Uribe with a 3rd place finish. Pretty good showing for him as well. Cole Bernlohr settles for a 4th. Drapkin across the line in 5th. And a 6th for Chase Gare. That matches his career best finish in Pro Buggy. There's your full unofficial results. Tough day for Michael Meister. Made it to turn 1 and no further. All the off-season work getting ready to do a full pull effort, running the full season once again this year. And back to the drawing board for Meister.
Yeah, not the day that he wanted to have, but he's been here, he's done that, so he'll bounce back. Round 2 is a different day. All right, well, we're gonna step aside here and meet these top 3 in Pro Buggy right after this. You're watching AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by Bruns.
Every race is a test of performance. When the stakes are high, Racers rely on proven products. If AMSOIL products are engineered for this kind of punishment, you can trust them in your garage. Shop by vehicle to find everything you need for your ride. Get the protection you demand and performance you deserve with fast, free shipping from AMSOIL.com.
Before the action, before the race, or the game, or the stunt, there's always a crew working behind the scenes that makes it all possible. From the job site to the pit box, Brunt Workwear is proud to stand behind the crew.
This isn't about timing or tradition. It's about crafting the right tool to erase the middle ground and draft the blueprint for what's next. Overkill, they say? Or is it? ZF Moto. Experience more.
We don't just formulate UTV lubricants. We validate them under real-world stress and intense dyno testing. We push these machines in the field, log the data, then recreate and exceed those conditions in the lab. After rigorous testing, we tear them down and inspect every critical component. From the trail, to the rocks, to the job site, AMSOIL UTV products are tested, proven, and ready to protect.
Back here at the Show Me Off-Road Shootout, one pro race in the books here in round one of the 2026 season of Champ Off-Road. And man, we are just getting started. Let's take a quick look back at what we just saw in Pro Buggy right away on the start. The headline story, Michael Meister, hot start, and the car shut off on him. His day was done.
Yeah, tough break for Michael Meister, and that's just a challenge as you have to do as we looked at the halfway point.
Yeah,
Things started to shake up a little bit.
Yeah, Cole Bernlohr was on the move right before halfway, and then later on in the race, Uribe trying in vain to get past Tony Keepers, ultimately unable to get it done, and Keepers holds on to the second spot when the dust settles here in round one.
But it was all Billy Booth getting the job done here this afternoon and putting the stamp down.
Well, with that, we've got our top three finishers ready to take their places on the podium, and we will send it down trackside to Nolan Castellian with the top three from Pro Buggy.
Thank you, guys. Jaden Uribe bringing it in third place today in Pro Buggy. Jaden, a heck of a start to the season for you. P3 qualifying effort yesterday and carried it over and ran top three in the race. You got to be stoked with how the season started for you.
Oh, this is a really great start of the season. Third in practice, third in qualifying, third in the race. I'll take that consistency any day.
Who helped you get up here this weekend?
Oh, first, Brendan, Barry, Mom, Dad, thank you guys. Want to thank sponsors that all came together and get me started on this season. AZ Shingle Pros, Intera Incorporate, iBlock, Fodrel, Pro-Am, OMF, BK Fabworks, thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Jaden Uribe, third place today here in Pro Buggy to start the season.
Yeah.
Tony Keepers, our second place finisher today in Pro Buggy. Tony, you guys had to thrash just to get that thing in the trailer to bring it here. How happy are you to start off the season on the box?
Pretty happy. We just finally got an engine on Wednesday and put it in and drove it down the road, and that was as much as I had before we came here. So I couldn't be more proud of my guys, Rick and Squints and Uncle Faye, Jackson, you guys, Brad. They put a lot of hours in the shop just so we can get here, you know, last minute. And so I can't thank them guys enough. I do want to say this race, I was thinking about my son Axel. We screwed up his short course kart today. He didn't make it on the track. So I had to, when I hit the caution, I knew I had to finish the race on a podium for my little guy there. So. But I guess want to thank all my sponsors, Milwaukee Tools, Argon Lumber, J&J Insulators, Forest Granite Works, Sam's Concrete, Teddy G Auto Body, KK, Point Mortgage. You guys are awesome. You've been with me for a long time here. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Tony Keepers, P2 here in round one of Pro Buggy. And on top of the box today in Pro Buggy, Billy Booth. Billy, you shot out of a cannon right away on the start in that thing and never looked back. That car looked hooked up today.
Yeah, we finally got it where we wanted to be, man. We changed literally everything on the car last winter, and we're like, well, all right, this winter we're gonna sit down, like improve what we did, and focus on a couple things. And man, we had it. It was working today. Walker Evans Racing Shocks, we got those in a really happy place now. John Grouse, Grouse Performance Engineering, all his help. Thank you very much. We spent some time in the dyno, got our engine cal where we wanted it, and found some things that we were missing last year that we kind of knew, but we didn't have the time to fix. So took the winter, got it done, and it feels so good to start the season this way after the heartbreak at the end of last year. Man, I took a couple months off. Like, I just got to step away and get in a better spot in my head with how much work it is, and happy to hit the ground running now. But no, big thanks to everybody who helps us out. My fiance back home couldn't make it this weekend. It's been a busy April, been probably tough on her, so big thanks to her, all she does, and I wish she was here to celebrate with us. My parents, Ian, Adam, Jeremy, their help, John Grouse, Grouse Performance Engineering again, Mud Muncher Motorized Tear-Offs, Alternative Machine Tool, Maxxis Tires. They were working really good in this stuff here with this clay, so glad to have them on board, and Walker Evans Racing as well. So, man, I know we've got to step it up again tomorrow, right? Bummer to see Michael fall out like that, but man, always feels good to win, especially early in the season. So really excited to be back.
Billy Booth on top of the box here in round 1 of Pro Buggy.
Thank you very much, Nolan, once again. And that was the first pro race on the day, and man, it never disappoints. Billy Booth getting the job done, and man, he had everything going right for him today.
Nice little sampler platter of what round 1 offers. You had some heartbreak on the podium. Make sure, but stop by car care. Cleaner from here. Tire drive good as it. Customer program. Promote. Fast we ship ever on the road. Well, you see what's staged up next. Title defense begins today for Thriller Wyatt Miller and the rest of the gang here in Prospec. Don't go anywhere. We are AMSOIL Championship Off-Road, presented by Brun.
What's up, everybody? We're here with John Holter. John, what are we doing this weekend?
We're racing rounds 1 and 2 of Champ Off-Road. I'm super excited.
So coming off the Pro Light Championship last season, focusing on the Pro 2 this year, what are we expecting?
You know, your guess is as good as mine. It's a new truck, so those always have a little bit of bugs, but no matter what, I think we're going to figure it out and we're going to be fast.
This is a track you've had a lot of success at in your career, been coming here for a long time, all the way since mod carts up to Pro 2. What are your thoughts on this track here in Wheatland?
Awesome, dude. It's big air, tight, technical, gets super fast. It's a lot of fun.
Have you looked at the track at all this weekend? And after what you've seen so far, what are we thinking on Yokohama tires for this weekend?
I looked at the track and we've been testing here, but you know, Yokohama tires, as always, I always run with the AT4. You know, that's my moneymaker right there. It's so much bite and just works awesome in this application.
Watch John Holter in the Pro 2 this weekend here in Wheatland, Missouri. Live all weekend on Flow Sports and on Fox Sports later.
It's us, your friends here from K&N, here at Wheatland, here for the weekend. Come check out our booth. We got a whole bunch of new next-gen intakes displays. We got free swag. We got some pop-up golf for you to come take your best swing at. We also got our full range of displays here in all of our products. Come check it out. And best of all, we got Jimmy Henderson's truck here for you to come and check out. See you guys here.
Kicking off the Pro Truck action for AMSOIL Championship Off-Road. The Prospec class is where the next generation of professional off-road talent cut their teeth. These identically built Prospec trucks level the technical playing field and put the spotlight squarely on driver skill. They utilize a Chevrolet Performance V6 aluminum engine and a G-Force 4-speed manual transmission. No advantage, no excuses. Just raw talent on full display. With tight battles, massive airtime, and the hunger to prove they belong. Every lap of Prospec is a statement. It's not just a race, it's a proving ground. Things are about to get heated. Get ready for Prospec.
Well, this class has quickly become a fan favorite in short course off-road racing, and just the amount of talent in this field is the exact reason why you see one of those talented drivers, your Yokohama top qualifier, Thriller Wyatt Miller, back to defend his title, joined by 8 other drivers in the field. Avery Hemmer, who was the 25-26 Pro-Am Women's Snowcross champion in AMSOIL Championship Snowcross, pulls the pole position alongside another teenager, Draxton Shimmick. Row number 2 is Chris Vandenelzen, who fell just short in the standings last year alongside the defending champ Wyatt Miller. Vandenelzen, by the way, back in a brand new truck for this year. Nick Visser starts 5th. He's also back in a brand new truck. He's alongside the 2024 champ Dylan Parsons. Then Braden Beauchamp making his pro debut here in round 1. Ronald Cosiza and Hunter Van Zyl, that makes 9, and we are ready to rip here in Prospec.
Man, these are one of the classes we've been waiting to see all winter long. Couple new trucks, a lot of great talent. Here we go, the green flag flies here in Prospec, round 1.
Right away, Vandenelzen bullying Avery Hemmer up the racetrack a little bit. He wants to get to the front right now.
Draxton Shimmick, I had a chance to talk to his dad during break. He said that he was having ECU problems. They couldn't figure out the problem to be exact, but it kept bobbling coming out of the corners, so we're gonna have to wait and see if that thing goes away.
Well, Shimmick trying to run the high side. You see Vandenelzen creeping right down on the bottom. Looks like Vandenelzen's gonna have the advantage, but a good run by Shimmick. Vandenelzen trying to keep the teenagers behind him as they head toward this hard left-hander. Miller laying a little bit of a fender there on Vandenelzen.
Yeah, he got on the binders. He stayed off the back bed side of Vandenelzen, but that gave up the spot to Shimmick. Looks like the truck's running really good, so that's good to see.
Yeah, Shimmick definitely up to speed, holding off the defending champ, Thriller Wyatt Miller. I mentioned that Vandenelzen has a brand new truck. Cole Mamer and his guys built that truck this offseason. Chris said he could not possibly be happier with how that truck works after testing a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I talked to him earlier today, and he said, hey, you know, you can drive right through the rough stuff. He's like, I had to call Cole and tell him, hey, I don't know, I can put this truck wherever I want. Last year's truck, he said it wanted to get up on the bike a lot. And he said now he feels more comfy behind the wheel.
Well, him and Draxton Shimmick start to stretch their lead a little bit over the rest of this field. Oh, and Vandenelzen pushed a little bit wide. That's going to open the door for Shimmick. Shimmick still looking for his first win in this class. Was on the podium a couple times last year.
That's what you have to wait for sometimes. Just a little bobble that created him that spot. Now Vandenelzen, he's got somebody to chase, so maybe this is what he wants to do. Get a little bit more speed where he thought he was fast enough, but it's hard to maintain that gap when you're leading these things.
Yeah, I mentioned that Vandenelzen had been here at Wheatland a couple weeks ago testing. Shimmick was here a couple weeks ago to test, as was Wyatt Miller at a different time. So a handful of these drivers have run laps on this racetrack already this summer.
Boy, kudos to Draxton Shimmick, opening up about a 2-3 car length gap over Vandenelzen, staying square and true off of those jumps.
And remember, Shimmick, 2 years ago, he was racing a 570 side-by-side. Last year as a rookie, he found the podium in Prospec a couple times. You're not supposed to make a jump that big and be this fast so soon.
No, I mean, he really surprised me, and he put in the work. He put in the effort. His father, Zach, ran a lot of times in Pro Light, so he knows how to win. They're buttoned up right alongside Ryan beating the guys, so they always have their thinking caps on. Oh, Vandenelzen goes up on the bicycle.
Able to set it back down. Looks like everything A-OK on the truck. You do have to be careful you don't tear the sidewall of the tire when you get up on the bike like that. But now he's going to start to feel the heat from Thriller Wyatt Miller. This was the points battle all season last year. Those two combined for 11 wins.
Yeah, these two are the ones to watch coming into this weekend. Wyatt gives him a little kiss on the bedside. Make sure he knows he's right there. He can hear him.
Oh, Vandenelzen. Yeah, Vandenelzen, he was running really low early in the race. Now Vandenelzen moving up to the high side, but that left the door open for Miller, and this is a great run by Wyatt Miller.
Yeah, Van Elsen got pinched off a little bit, but that's what you got to do on exit. You got to fill that lane. So Thriller Wyatt Miller in that Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet trying to dig deep. He knows he has a lot of time.
So Van Elsen will fall back in line. Another one of those fast teenagers I talked about, Avery Hemmer, running in the 4th spot. Hemmer was really, really sick yesterday on the morning of practice and qualifying, and almost made the call to go with the backup driver, Chad Rayford, but Avery eventually said, no, I'm good, I can handle it. She's out there doing battle with all the rest of the gang.
Yeah, she just stepped her sickness aside and she just put her helmet on. She wants to be out here. It can't be easy. There is Nick Visser in that brand new truck.
And remember, Hemmer just wrapped up her snowcross championship in the Pro-Am women's class a few weeks ago. About 4 weeks ago was their final round. She's been in race mode year-round for a couple of years now.
Yeah, and that helps definitely when it comes to off-road racing. Any form of racing, you can try to adapt your way behind the wheel. And look at Draxton Shimmick.
Yeah, running away bit by bit.
1.7 seconds that lap is time by.
We look at Nick Visser. He also has a brand new truck built by Dustin Pence in the offseason. A lot of the old heads that have been around short course racing a long time will remember the name Kevin Pence, who was a legendary truck builder for decades. Dustin is his son and starting to make a name for himself as a truck builder.
Yeah, he has a pack shop. He's trying to build this sport as well. Oh, there's Visser trying to dive to the inside of Avery Hemmer.
That was a
no grip there.
Really nice line there by Visser trying to cut across the racetrack. Hemmer just barely beat him to the spot. You see Visser bouncing through the grass right at the edge of that rhythm section.
Seems like that lane just keeps opening up. Visser with a little bobble there.
Yeah, the blue groove is starting to rear its ugly head in some of these tighter corners. It's not so bad through this S-bend section, but that section of the track's starting to get really rough.
Yeah, it really is. Look at the rocks and the dirt coming right into our camera. Shimmick made a little mistake there on exit, but he still maintains that gap at the halfway point. Man, what a drive for the young guns.
On that final lap of the first half, though, Miller gained about 0.6 of a second on Shimmick.
Unbelievable. It's what he waited for, this halfway point for the Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet. And I mean, Draxton, he's showing the speed though, right? I mean, It's hard to pass anyone on this track. He's just got to keep doing what he's doing.
And we joked on the podcast that the kind of grudge match within the race is the teenagers against what we call the old guys, even though I think all the drivers in this class are younger than us. Well, right now, look at the scoreboard. You got 3 teenagers in the top 4, and Chris Van Elsen's the only so-called old guy.
Yeah, it's got to be a tough challenge to go up against, but hey, you're in the same competitive trucks. Everyone has the same opportunity. It's just what we've seen in the past 10, 15 years in our sport. Just they're starting younger and younger, and you're seeing the good guys just keep moving up through the ranks as your top 3, Draxton Shimmick, the Thriller Wyatt Miller, and Chris Van Elsen, your top 3. Here we go.
Back to business here in Prospec, and right away Miller trying to dive bomb in on Draxton Shimmick. Shimmick able to hold his line and barely hold on to that number 1 spot.
Wyatt goes over. Can he get back on the wheels? No.
He cannot, and he collected Chris Van Elsen and Avery Hemmer.
Boy, caught one of those famous ruts as the day goes on.
Van Elsen can't get that truck started yet either, so that is a tough break for him. He just had nowhere to go.
I seen one of his left front tire was really towed out, so maybe something broke to help that out, or maybe on contact, but normally don't see that out of the Thriller Wyatt Miller.
Well, that is a huge shakeup. That's going to put Nick Visser into the number 2 spot. We'll have to wait and see who files into 3rd when it's all said and done. Yeah, definitely some damage on the front end of that truck. That is Hunter Van Zyl now into the 3rd spot.
Oh, Braden Bolshaw getting all crossed up going through the rhythm section.
Yeah, Bolshaw now up into the top 5. Remember, this is his pro debut. His first time ever in a pro truck class. So Miller's day is done, and 2 races in, Pro Buggy, we lost Michael Meister on turn 1, and we lose the defending champ here in Prospec midway through the race.
Yeah, it's anybody's game now. Have to wait and see. Draxton Shimmick leading the way around here in Wheatland, Missouri. Round 1 of AMSOIL Championship Off-Road.
to see Hunter Van Zyl back out there mixing it up with the rest of the gang. He's actually pretty well keeping the pace with Visser right now.
Yeah, his father George, he's really trying to do as much as he can, getting him in great equipment. He's adapted really well. He's shown some strong finishes.
That's another kid that came out of the mod cart ranks a couple of years ago. He was fast in those as well.
I just love this shot here. Setting it down, when you hit it perfectly, it's just such a nice flow. Seeing Shimmick go through our screen. Good run for Visser though with that brand new truck.
Yeah, that's got to be a confidence builder to know that the truck is working. He didn't get a chance to test. He got to run up and down the road near his house, but that's about it.
Well, it's kind of normal up by us, right? You just try to take as much seat time as you can, and sometimes it's up the road and back.
Hey, as long as you got a friend at the local law enforcement office, anything goes when it comes to getting some seat time.
Well, Draxton Shimmick is doing what he needs to do. Going to be clicking off another lap in that Yokohama Tires Chevrolet.
Man, what a way if he can bring this thing home to get your first career pro win. Opening round, that's a big statement to everybody else. It's easy to look at the standings from last year and kind of pick out a few contenders. We knew Shimmick was going to be fast. I expected him to win a race this year. I just don't think I would have ever guessed that it would be here in round one at Podium.
Right, yeah, I'm really good friends with his father, Zach, and it really put a bad feeling in my belly when I went and talked to him earlier today when they couldn't figure out the problem. He's like, I don't know what to do, Brent, right? We checked everything, the computers come back, nothing's wrong, but he said it was bobbling, coming in and out of the corners. But it ain't bobbling right now, I can tell you that, Shane.
I was gonna say, it's pretty safe to say that problem, they either figured it out or it sorted itself out.
Yeah, they won't stop working on it, that's what's so cool. He's just running the fast line. Catching a little bit of sod too on that outside.
That last time around, every single driver in the field was within 1 second of lap time. That's how evenly matched these trucks and drivers are.
Wow, that's what we like to see in this Prospec class. When it came out, there wasn't many trucks, but now we have the trucks and we have the competition.
And 27, Van Zyl really starting to put the pressure up more and more on Visser. Little mistake there from Van Zyl, but prior to that, he was only about a truck length behind Visser.
Yeah, we haven't talked much about Dylan Parsons with 2 laps to go, Shane. He hasn't really been on our cameras, not having the opening rounds that he wants. There he is.
Now everybody's starting to spread out just a little bit. Breathing room for Visser. Like I said, he did have Van Zyl breathing down his neck pretty hot and heavy for about a half a lap. So our time clock is about to expire, so the next flag will be the white flag for Draxton Shimmick.
Time's definitely running out for this man right here.
Yeah, now I'm just kind of watching how this track has changed so much since the start of the Pro Buggy race, the previous race. Look at the amount of blue groove that's starting to pop up, not just in the corners, but some of the straightaways as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, you took the exact word out of my mouth. It's going to be a real fight for these drivers.
It's not easy, especially through there. And then when you talk about the blue groove, right when you exit here, you can hear them when you're live in person, just dipping in and out of that throttle. Don't take nothing away on Nick Visser's day. He has a solid run going. So does Van Zyl.
Oh, Van Zyl went way up on the bike. Looks like he was able to make the save and stay out of that wall. We are now on the final lap. Shimmick looking for career pro win #1.
Man, what a bounce back, right? To get that issue out of your head as a driver. He just put that all aside, didn't think nothing of it. Never let it bother him at all. He just found himself out front early and he just checked out on the field.
It's got to be a little bit mentally taxing, even if you're pretty sure you got it fixed. You're second guessing, you know, every time the truck makes a noise that you don't quite recognize. You're wondering, oh man, there's a problem back. It's really hard to, you know, keep your head in the game with an issue like that, especially electrical. That stuff seems to come and go sometimes.
Oh yeah, and it's so cool to watch him mature as a driver. These past couple seasons, right now, I mean, he's not only leading the race, he's just well out in front. He's like tapered back a little bit these last couple laps to save the truck.
Well, Dylan Parsons starting to creep in the picture, trying to hunt down that final podium spot from Hunter Van Zyl. You can see everybody just tiptoeing across that blue groove, putting those DOT tires to the test here.
Yeah, but then in these classes, in the Pro Light and the Pro Spec, you try to find that grip on the outside, and it hikes you up. So where's the happy medium? This guy found it today, I promise you that.
Yeah, there was no medium. It was all flat out for Draxton Shimmick, no doubt about that. First career pro win for the kid. That is a huge statement for Shimmick. Score one for the young guns against the so-called old guys. Visser leads the way for the old heads, so to speak, with that second place run, and another young gun, Hunter Van Zyl, on the podium here in round one.
Boy, what a day it's been again, so far. Another new winner.
Just classic round one stuff. You got your title defender coming in. Miller made that mistake, not able to continue on. Collected Vandenelsen, who finished runner-up last year in the process. So we'll go back and take another look at that incident.
Yeah, Miller just came in and just crisscrossed over, and he caught just a little rut there and just dumped him.
In Miller's defense, he was trying to do the right thing. He was doing everything he could to stay off of Shimmick's truck. Just a little bit too much side bite, and up and over you go. And Vandenelsen, just unfortunate. Nothing he could have done any differently. The truck stalls out. He finds himself deep in the field after that.
Yeah, bummer deal for Vandenelsen and Wyatt Miller, but they'll be back. Round two, the rest of this weekend is still yet to be.
We're here at Wheatlands, Missouri. I want to tell you, we've got a lot of giveaways for all you fans that come out and check it all out. We got some car care products, wheel and tire cleaner, as well as decals, fast funnels, and a lot of other things. Also, if you sign up as a preferred customer, we're giving away free power